Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel on data engineering. So in this video, we will be working on bank marketing data. So for this project, we'll be doing data cleaning and we'll be performing some insights on this data. So to begin with, we were given that personal loans generate a great form of revenue for the banks. So in the given question, it says that say for a period of 2 years, if you take a loan, it's given that a UK consumer has borrowed 1.5 billion euros of loan and with the interest rate of 10%. And the interest rate for the period of 2 years would be around 300 million euros. So, and it's a big amount. So, as per this analysis, they wanted to conduct even more campaigns and they wanted to give more personal loans to their customers. So, we were asked to work with the bank to clean the data that they have collected recently from their marketing campaign, which aim to get the consumers to take personal loans. So, and also they want to conduct even more campaigns in the future. So for that, they wanted us to make sure that the data is clean and it meets the structure and the data types that is being given below, so that they can store this data into a database, into a Postgres database for future needs. So as part of the question, we were provided with a bank marketing CSV file. So what we were asked to do is we have to clean the data in this CSV file, and we have to reformat some data types and some data within it. And we have to split this data, say, into three different CSV files, and we have to store the specific information into the each file. So here we'll be creating three different data frames in order to do that. And we'll be creating three different files accordingly. One would be the clients.csv file, and the other is the campaign.csv file, and the last one would be the economics.csv file. So in order to do that, first we'll be importing the packages. So for this project, here I'm using the NumPy and Pandas library. So Pandas is used to do the data manipulations and specifically for the data frame operations. And the NumPy package is used to, to do numeric tasks and for handling missing values. So let's look into the descriptions here. So we were given the client's information here. So this is the client ID, age, job, the martial status, education, etc. This is the corresponding description. So we were asked to do some clean. These are the cleaning requirements that we were given to perform. So say, for example, we have to change the period to an underscore in the job column. So for the education column, we have to again change the period to an underscore. Also, we have to change this unknown value to a nan. So here nan is used to handle missing values. So that is the reason we are using the NumPy package so that it handles the missing values and work with the numeric data. And we were asked to convert this credit default column into a Boolean data type, and we have to return yes, return one if it is a yes, and if it is a no or if it is an unknown value, we have to return a zero. So, it's the same for the mortgage column as well. So in the same way, we were asked to perform some cleaning requirements for the campaign.csv file as well. So again, we have to convert into a Boolean data type, this previous outcome and the campaign outcome, and we have to return success. Uh, we have to return one if it is a success. If it is a failure or if it is an unknown, we have to return a zero. The same case with this as well. So in this last one here, we were asked to create a combination of day, month, and year. So here we have to perform concatenation. So I'll get to that when I write the code. Okay, now we're not asked to do anything, so we need not bother about that. So yeah, let's understand the code. So here I'm importing pandas and the NumPy packages. So initially I'll be reading the CSV file. So for that I'll use pd.read CSV, and here I'm reading the bank marketing CSV file. So I've given the file name. And I'll be loading this CSV file into a variable called marketing. So this is the data frame that I have created. So I'll be loading this CSV file into a marketing data frame. Yeah, so once this is done, the next step we have to do is we have to create three new tables. This means we have to create three new data frames to split the marketing data into three new tables. So for that, I'll be creating three new tables. That is the client, campaign, and the economics. So relevant information is being pushed into the relevant tables. So in the client table, I'll be pushing in all the columns, the client ID, age, job, status, education, client, the credit default, mortgage. In the same way for the campaign and the economics tables, I'll be putting in the relevant information. So once the three data frames are created, I have to start performing the data cleaning. So I'll be doing this hands-on. So read in the CSV file and we loaded the data into the marketing data frame. And now we have also split the data into three different tables. That means the three different data frames. So now let's start cleaning the data from each table one by one. So first I'll start with the clients table. So in the clients table, we were asked to do some cleaning requirements for the job, education, credit default, and the mortgage columns. So first I'll start with the job column. So in the job column, first I'll write the data frame name, client, and the column name. And this is the syntax to clean the data, client, and again the column name. So here we were asked to change the dot operator, this period to underscore. So for that, I have to use a function, a string replace function. So str dot replace. And in the arguments, I'll be giving the period and underscore. So this changes the period to underscore in the column job. So in the same way, we were asked to change for the education column as well. I'll just copy this and I'll be pasting it. Here I'll just change the column name and here as well. Okay. So, and also we were asked to change the unknown values to nan. So here nan is nothing but which handles the missing values. And to handle that, we are using the NumPy package. Here NumPy handles the missing values. So I'll again paste this. Here it is not a string operator. So here we have to just use dot replace function. And here I'll just change it to education. Okay. So here we have to change unknown values to np.nan, np.nan. Yeah, so let's run this and check. Okay, it says there's an error. Okay, just let me run from the spell. Okay, it says, oh, there's a typo here. Okay, I guess this should work. Oh, just say, yeah, this works. So now let's move on to the next one. So in the credit default column, we have to return one if it is a yes, and in other cases, if it's a no or if it's an unknown case, we have to return a zero. So let's do that cleaning requirements. So again, I'll have to select. So here I have to do for these two columns. So here I'll be using a for loop for column in. I'll be returning these two columns as the arguments. Credit default column and the mortgage column. So now I'll write the data frame, client of column. So here to return one if it is a yes and to return zero if it's no or unknown value, we have to use a dot map function. So here dot map and we'll be returning a yes, and we have to return a no if it's 0. And if it's unknown as well, we have to return a 0, means other cases. Okay. Yeah. So once we have done this, now we have to convert this to a Boolean data type. So let's do that. Client column, client column. So here to convert into a Boolean data type, here I'll be using a as type function. So this converts this column to a Boolean data type. So in the arguments, I'll be giving bool. Yeah. So I have run this cell and there are no errors. Okay. Now we are done with the first part. So I'll be starting one more cell. So in this cell, I'll be doing mm, cleaning requirements for the second table. Yeah. Now coming to the campaign table, we were asked to do cleaning requirements for the previous outcome column, campaign outcome, and the last contact date. So in the previous outcome and the campaign outcome, we were asked to convert it to a Boolean data type. And here in the previous outcome, we have to return 1 if it's a success. In other cases, we have to return a 0. And for the campaign outcome, we have to return a 1 if it is a yes. And in other cases, we have to return a 0. So here I'll be doing a similar for loop for that, which I have used in the client's data frame. So yeah, let's start. So in the campaign, I'll start campaign data frame. I have to give the column name, previous outcome. So I'll just copy this and paste this. So I have to use the dot map function, which returns the yes or no values. So inside the arguments, I'll be returning a yes if it is, I'm sorry, here I have to return success. Okay, if it's a 1. And I have to return no a 0 for a failure case. So failure case would be a 0. And if it is also a non-existent case, it should return a 0. So I'll add that as well. So for a non-existent case, it should return a 0. Yeah. So now I'll do the same for the campaign outcome as well. I'll just copy this. So here, this is I'll just copy this. Yeah. So I have done for the 2 columns. So in the campaign outcome, I have to return a yes. If it's okay, and have to return a no. So here there's no non-existent case. Okay. So let's run this and check if there are any errors. Okay. As far as now, there are no errors. Done. So now let's convert these 2 columns into a Boolean data type. So for that, again, I'll use a for loop. For column in, I'll mention the column names, campaign, outcome, and the previous outcome. So for these 2 columns, I'll be changing using the as type function and changing it to a Boolean data type. So campaign data frame. Here I'll write the column name, campaign column name dot. I'll use the as type function, uh, and I'll give the argument bool, and I'll just run this and check. Yes, so it's converted to Boolean data type. So in the next part, we were asked to create from a combination of day, month, and a newly created year column, which should have a value of 2022, and it should be in the format of year, month, and date. So for this, we have to perform concatenation. So here we'll be creating new columns for the year and day, and we have to concatenate the year, month, and day in the format of this year, month, and date. And not to a datetime data type, we'll be using the toDateTime function. So let's start that. So first we'll be creating a new column year in the campaign data frame. So campaign year, and it should return 2022. So for the day, it should be in the string data type. So I'll just call the data frame and convert it into a string data type, campaign of day. And so this should be in the string data type. So I just give the argument as str. So now let's concatenate the year, month, and date into to get the last contact date. Yeah. So here campaign of last. So now I'll be concatenating campaign of year. So for concatenation, I should use this kind of syntax. Now I have to give the month and the ending with the date. So it should be in year, month, and date format. Campaign of date. Sorry. Okay. So let's run this and check. Yeah, so it has run and there are no errors as far as now. So now let's convert this into a date time data type. So for that, I'll just again call the data frame. I'll just copy this. Yeah. So to do that, I have to first use the pandas to give the toDateTime function, which converts this column into a date type or data type. So pd.toDateType. And inside this arguments, I have to mention this campaign last contact date. Okay, and here I have to give the format. So here I'll be using year, then the abbreviated month, and then the day. So let's run this and check. Yeah. So this part is done. So we have concatenated the year, month, and day, and then we have converted this data type to a date time format. So now no cleaning requirements for the economics table. So we have to remove the columns which are not required. So for that, I'll just uh, use the drop function. So here I'll just mention the data frame dot drop. So inside the arguments, I'll be mentioning the column names which are not required. So columns. I have to remove the month, date, and year. So since we are done with the concatenation and we have converted it into a date type data type, we no longer need those columns. So they are unnecessary. So we'll be just removing them off. So I have to mention the year, month, and day. And we have to set this in place as true so that it removes the columns. Yeah, so now we are done with all the cleaning requirements. So now we have to send these data frames to individual CSV files. For that, I'll be writing the function. So for that, I have to just write client. I'll be writing a to CSV function. So it sends the columns, the information in the data frame of the client's table into that CSV file. And here I'll be mentioning the file name, line.csv, and I'll set the index to false. So I'll explain why I'm setting this index to false. So in the same way, I have to do for the remaining tables as well. I'll just copy it and change the data frame names. Okay. So now we are almost done with the code. Now the last part of the code is we have to return the initial bank marketing CSV file. We have to load this and we have to load this into a data frame. Because we have to still find the values, like how many values are uh, success, how many are failures for the previous and the campaign outcomes. So in order to check for those previous outcomes and the campaign outcomes, and in this client data frame also, we have to check for how many responses are yes or no. So to return those values, we have to create a data frame and we have to print those columns to get those values. So first we'll just check this code from the top. So first I have imported the pandas and the NumPy. Then I have read the CSV file into a marketing data frame. So then I have split this marketing data frame into three different tables. One is client, campaign, and economics. And I have given the relevant columns into it. I have split the relevant marketing columns into each data frame. So then I have started doing the cleaning requirements as per the question. So here on the clients table, I have done for the job education columns, and I have converted this into a Boolean data type. And in the campaigns table, again, as I explained before, I have done cleaning requirements for the previous outcome and the campaign outcome columns. And for the last cleaning requirements part, we have to do the concatenation on the year, month, and date. So in the end, I have converted to a datetime data type using this to datetime function. So once we are done with the cleaning requirements, we have to remove all the unnecessary tables. I'm sorry, the columns. So I have using the drop function, I have removed the unnecessary columns, year, month, and day, and have set the in place to true. So that that drops all the unnecessary columns. So once this is done, I have created individual CSV files, and I am using this to CSV function to send those to send the relevant data of those individual data frames to those columns. Yeah, so we are almost done. So let me run again and check. Yeah, so there are no errors as far as now. So let's create the final data frame to check for the those column values. So in this data frame, I'll be returning in the uh, four columns. That is the campaign outcome, previous outcome, and in the first table, the credit default and the mortgage columns. So here, first I have to read the CSV file. So read CSV, and here I'll give the file name. That is bankmarketing.csv. Yeah, so just let me run this. Yeah, now this is the CSV file is read and the contents are loaded into a DF data frame. So here I'll just apply a for column in, I'll just give the column names, credit default, mortgage column. Then in the second table, the previous outcome. I'll just copy paste it and the campaign outcome. Okay. So now I'll be printing the column. So that returns the values of all the columns which are in the argument. So I'll just print the columns. And now I'll be just putting a blank line. So while you read the column output values, it'll be easier to see in the output screen. So I'll just print a blank line. So something like this. Now I can print the data frame. So here I'll just print the data frame. So that prints the values within the data frame. So data frame of column. And to print that, I'll be using the dot value counts, which prints the values inside the data frame. So dot value counts. Yeah. So let me run this from the top and just check for the output. Yeah. And there are no errors. Yeah. So here you can see the output. So you can see the four columns: credit default, then the mortgage, then the campaign outcome, and the previous outcome. And you can see their corresponding values. You can see the yes, no, and unknown responses. There are three yeses. There are 32,588 no and 8,597 unknown values. And for the mortgage column, we have the values respectively. Same for the campaign and the previous outcome. So this is the end of the project. So if you have any doubts, you can ask them in the comment section. I'll be answering them over there. Yeah, so this is the end of the project. So in this project, we have understood some insights of what are data cleaning. Like, yeah. So this is the end of the project. So in this project, we have understood how do you clean the data, and we got some like we got some basic insights on how to clean the data, and we understood how to move the data into a data frame, and we Okay. So this is the end of okay. Yeah. So this is the end of the project. So in this project, we understood how do we do some cleaning requirements for the given data, and we also understood how to split the data into three different data frames, and we how to do concatenations. In the end, we have also seen how to move the data into separate CSV files. So that's it for the video. So if you have any doubts, please ask them in the comment section. So if you do like this content, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.